Hello everyone and welcome to the back nine coverage of the Thorn Spring Fling. If you haven't already, go click the link up in this card right here, check out the front nine coverage, but as you saw, it's getting pretty tight as we head into the back nine. We're starting out on hole 10, 776 foot par 4, pretty treacherous green, big drop off to the left of it.
Andrew leading off, just kind of throwing the pretty much the only shot here, just kind of get a backhand hyzer out as far as you can. Just get yourself in position for the approach.
Yeah, there's not really a good spot to approach this green from because you're going to be on the right side, and you can kind of see the hillside on the left there. It's very treacherous right behind the basket. So getting as far as you possibly can is about the only play.
Yeah. This is a great drive from David. Really pushes forward and gets a little bit further left, closer to the basket. So that'll be just about as good as it gets. Nick now also electing for the backhand hyzer. This one gets dropped and turned over a bit by the wind, so he's going to be similar to Andrew, kind of a bit shorter and up to the right. Does get a little bit of a roll left, but still further approach for those two. And then Jason finally. This one looks to be on a good line. A little bit shorter, but gets to the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, none of those are in necessarily bad spots.
Everybody can attack from here.
Yeah.
Jason headed up first with a big hyzer, swinging it out. This one skips a bit short and left, but it's a long look.
Stayed up on the hill at least.
Yep. Nick Carl now swinging his hyzer wide.
Oh, that's going to have to dig.
This one needs to sit down. It's coming in very hot.
Oh, and there it goes.
Unfortunately, catches an edge and rolls down the hill.
Yeah, it was a very well-thrown shot if there was no hillside.
Right. You got to play it a little bit extra wide or throw a slower disc.
It looks like Andrew actually went to a mid.
Yeah, this one needs to get down quick as well, but appears to stick a little bit. The curl keeps him close. He'll putt.
David with that PA3 again.
Yeah, now this one is played well. Keeps it high up on the hill for the skip. Plays the green right and is right next to the basket.
You just have to play that knowing that the green's going to pull it towards the basket. Yeah. Or away from, depending on where you hit.
Jason, unfortunately, can't stay out of the low ceiling there. Nick now for his uphill birdie look, just kind of laying it up there for his par. Andrew now has a look up the hill for his birdie. Very, very important to try and keep pace of the lead.
Great putt.
And he does cash in. Very well done.
Yeah, the back nine is where players are really going to have to start pushing now.
Yeah.
There's definitely some gettable holes out here, but there's also a lot of room for errors, as you'll see in the farther forward in the back nine. There's a lot of OB on some of these holes, a lot of tight gaps actually to hit. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of room and strokes to be given or taken, and it's gonna, just gonna see who capitalizes on it. So after hole 10, we're looking at Nick Carl hold on to a 1-stroke lead over David, 2-stroke lead over Andrew. And Jason's continuing to struggle a little bit, but he's hanging in there. We're going to move on to hole 11 out here. Par 3, 303 feet. Might as well be an island, even though it's technically a peninsula. It's a very tough shot, and Andrew's just going over the top.
We're going to see some players elect for this shot. It's a very large hyzer, very demanding, and you're actually going to see, you can't quite tell, but this one lands short.
It was well short.
Yeah, and tombstones in the ground.
That's a very demanding shot.
That would take a lot of power, and the landing area is not great either.
So that cart path that you saw kind of in the foreground of that shot, that is the OB line.
Right.
So, realistically, your best shot is kind of going down the middle, which it kind of looks like that's what David's about to do.
Yeah, that honestly is the best play. And this one, because what happens here is this one hyzers out early and a little long, but, that's fine. Everything left there is safe once you get, past that path.
And you just got to make sure you're short of that creek.
Right. So that's kind of your miss, is throw something stable. Nick
liked that right out of his hand.
Yeah, this
and
one
you can see why.
Beautiful.
Great shot by Nick.
Really good control, keeping it matching the hill there. Jason also going at the middle.
It's got to get down.
This one needs to get down. It's going right at it, actually.
Oh, actually,
also
that was
very
short.
well done. Yeah.
I thought that was going to be sailing over the basket.
I think he disked down there.
Okay. Andrew from the drop zone here. A little bit of a bid, but he'll be tapping out a bogey.
With his run.
Just off the front.
So close. Jason now for birdie. Well done. And Nick Carl will also tap out his birdie.
Being able to extend his lead a little bit here.
Very important stroke for Nick.
Yeah, that is a big hole to play safe on. You can still see Andrew's disc tombstone in the background.
Yeah.
That is a very, very important hole there because there is a lot that could have gone wrong for Nick there. Very crucial shot. Hopefully that'll give him a little bit of momentum so he can extend this lead farther as we head into a few more treacherous holes coming up down the stretch here. Yes, you can see 15 down for Nick. David chilling at 13. Still within striking distance. Andrew is a little bit more out of it after that one. It's gonna take some incredible golf from Andrew to kind of get back into it. Hole 12 out here, 633 foot. Pretty much nothing to really worry about. That dead grass you see is where the river is. It's the OB. No players should really be worrying too much about that.
Yeah, not a super difficult drive. Unfortunately, Nick fades out a bit early and is going to have to deal with the tree line. That's actually the one miss you don't want. You kind of need to get it out of that area. And Jason, unfortunately, kind of in the same spot.
Yeah, they're going to have those trees to be looking at. David's just going to be looking to just pump one out here, hopefully fade a little to the right.
Yeah. This one's more what you're looking for, yeah. Getting a bit more turn, staying out of that tree line. And
from there, he just basically has a straight uphill shot to the green. Should be rather routine up and down. Yeah,
that's exactly what you're looking for. And some of these drives, though they look easy, can be a bit difficult because these ceilings are low.
Oh, no.
And, yeah, you'll see Andrew here has exactly that problem.
So that ended up OB?
Yeah, into the creek, I believe, or just short of it.
No, he was OB there. His I believe it's on that
It was just the
side.
creek OB, yeah. So now he's throwing with an OB stroke. And had quite a bit of distance to make up, and actually pretty impressive to get as close as he did from as far back as he was.
That putt left for his par, pretty scary par putt. Oh.
Yeah, had a lot of trees to try to navigate there. And we'll also see Nick has quite a bit to work with.
Decent angle.
Trying to get this forehand up.
Oh, just got too high. The wind almost looks like he got a hold of that one.
Impressive to get it up there as he did, but unfortunately, the wind kind of lifted that and hyzered him out. But he should be able to get his par without much problem. David now trying to attack the green yet again and kind of turns this one over a bit. Or Jason, my bad. David now with his approach. He was definitely in the best position, kind of just a little forehand. Leaves it a little short. It's a tester.
There's still some meat on that bone. Oh, Jason's just running.
Jason was full
he
running.
He said, "You know what? I'm just out here to have fun now." He just chucked that thing at the basket. Nick just laying up for a par. That's just a strategy play by Nick there. He knows he just extended his lead a little bit. He can sacrifice one stroke, but David also has to make a putt.
Right.
That's what we're looking at right here.
A big putt for birdie. And
wow.
Never
a doubt.
Yeah, no problem.
If I'm Nick Carl there, I'm a little scared.
Yeah.
Because there was pressure on David in that moment to gain a stroke back coming down the stretch, and to see him do it with such confidence, especially it was a little bit of a death putt.
Yeah.
Because there's a drop off behind that basket. It's a good sign for David. But, Nick still, the wind's picking up, messing with Andrew.
That's a scary one.
Nick still's got his lead. It's not like he lost it, but.
Ooh, a little scary, but Andrew will convert. Unfortunately, losing some strokes there, that's really going to set him back as we kind of head into the final holes.
Yeah, he tells he was walking away. He knew it. It kind of set in.
Important to know, though, that on this course, something to mention is that the last 3 holes in this course are kind of known as the gauntlet of sorts.
Yeah, they actually called them the Amen Corner.
Yeah, anything can happen in those last 3 holes.
Yeah. So Nick's lead cut back down to 1 as we head into a 775-foot par 4.
The only thing
OB down towards the green. But
the only thing to try to not land in is this creek that's down near the end of the fairway, and nobody should be able to approach
it.
But
600 feet out.
Yeah, David's drive, you didn't see it where it finished, but it actually got close to that creek.
Somehow.
It was crushed. Nick faded out early here, just avoiding the players on a different hole there, and he's in an okay spot, but not in great position.
He should have a look at the basket.
He'll have
to
a
get
chance,
up and down.
Yeah.
The drive pretty much is just throw it far, throw it straight, and like you're saying, just be short of that creek.
Exactly, which is not really a problem for most.
99% of the field don't have to worry about that.
Andrew and Jason throw solid drives where they'll have a chance to attack. Now, Nick, though he's out of position, trying to make an aggressive play here, doesn't turn his forehand over and fades right over the creek.
Oh, and it lands in the creek as well.
In the OB, just didn't quite execute. I'm not sure that shot was out of his game.
I don't like that shot.
It was very aggressive, certainly, but I think he kind of thought he needed to make a play there and was confident.
But I think, just make the play with the backhand.
Yeah.
Because that way you're hyzering into safety,
Yeah.
not away from it.
It was no doubt a tricky shot.
I think it's a little bit of an uncalled for going for, but, you know, he's got to mentally reset here. He's still going to have a little bit to bite off because his mark is going to be pretty far back.
Yeah. Saw Andrew and Jason landing on the green.
And David
throwing a
an
great
easy
approach
little up
there.
shot. You can see how close his drive got.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nick Carl's pretty far back here.
And this forehand
And he
appears to be
sauced it.
cooked a bit. Yeah, that's not a good upshot at all.
That's not the putt you want right here. See if he can cash it. Oh, had a decent line.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge
That's
swing.
a huge swing. What's he taking? I
think that's going to be a double, I believe.
a 6, and we have, he's going to be taking a 6, I believe, and we're going to have David with a 15-footer for his 3.
Yeah, huge swing.
So that, I mean, assuming both of them make these putts coming up, which there's no reason to believe they won't. Actually, we just watch it. Okay, good. So that should put David at a 2-stroke lead.
Yeah,
the lead has just shifted.
Considering, you know, some of the holes that we've seen, like this is not the hole you would think would provide that big swing. It was, you know, there's obviously the OB Creek, but the drive was fairly routine. He kind of just made a mistake and then tried to make up for it and couldn't execute.
Yeah.
But he could have walked away with par had he just laid up to the creek or even maybe played a safer shot into the green.
Yeah, I don't think that was the spot to be aggressive, but you see, Nick Carl's now down 2 strokes to David.
Huge swing.
Heading into hole 14. Like we said, though, 16, 17, 18 are going to decide this tournament. But now David's in the driver's seat here. 362-foot par 3. There is a Mando. Normally, you would not see someone go roller, but, I mean, David's roller game's been working. That's going to put him down there.
Yeah, it's like pin high. There's a tiny gap that they want you to throw down, as you can see.
Here.
A lot of players just not really messing with that.
Jason's going to try it here.
Unfortunately, catch the early tree.
That tree swatted him down.
Yeah, honestly surprised there isn't a double Mando here because I was shocked to see anybody attempt that gap. It's so difficult. We'll see Andrew also trying to lay down the roller.
It's a little wide.
And he puts this wide, but you know what? It's not really
I think
no
the
trouble.
roller play, people are just trying to 3 it.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised I didn't see people throw sidearms. Now, here we go with Nick.
He's going down the middle.
He goes down the sidearm.
I think this is, he knows he wants to get a, he thinks this is a spot he can get a stroke, and he's giving himself a look.
Yeah,
he's going to have a long look at it.
That's a good shot, honestly. Jason, unfortunately, catching another tree. Yep. Such a tricky gap. Anytime you have low ceiling, downhill, controlling the height of your disc is so difficult.
I was surprised here to see him go down the gap again.
Yeah.
Especially with how far down he was. I was expecting just a little forehand. We didn't really see a forehand from Jason, though. But
very nicely done, though.
Yeah, that was a great, very well executed shot.
Andrew, as you can see, kind of like that roller, just put him to an easy spot where he can get up and down for his par, stress-free. David actually with a long look at it here.
Never really had a chance.
Yeah, never quite had the line there.
So Nick Carl with a shot at picking up a stroke.
Just leaves a bit low. Can't be happy with that.
No. In those situations, you got to be scaring the basket.
Yeah, so no swing from the leaders on this hole.
You can tell Nick's pretty upset himself there.
Yeah, definitely an opportunity there. They will be limited down the stretch.
All right, David's going to tap out his par here, staying in the lead, I believe still by 2 strokes as we head into hole 15 coming up here. We're starting to see a little bit more separation, too. There are some people from Chase Card sneaking in, but none of them are scaring the lead right now.
Yeah.
It's basically Nick Carl and David. Those are the two. We have a 1,010-foot par 4. Pretty big downhill drive.
Yes.
There are trees on both sides, so you got to keep it in the middle.
Severely downhill, but it is, the basket finishes in the tree line, and there's nothing easy about this. Yeah, you see.
David pulled it right.
David
that's
pulls
not
it right, yeah.
So this is a chance for Nick Carl now because that's pretty far back down the fairway. He should not be able to get up and down for birdie from back there. Andrew going with the roller. I like this play.
Yeah, definitely a good hole to do it. A lot of downhill, and this disc is
moving.
moving.
Oh, Trevor's about to get destroyed.
Right past me, and this one actually finishes left. It doesn't ever really stand up, but it is down the fairway quite a ways. So he's not in great position, but he's far down the fairway. Nick just kind of smoothed one out there. Unfortunately, this one gets over, but if it fights out, and it kind of does. It's still a little bit low.
If he would have had a little more height, that would have been a perfect shot. But
yeah,
him and David both are going to be pretty far back there. Basically they're playing for par. It's going to be so hard to get a shot. They're going to have to throw 600 plus feet. It is downhill, but to try to get accurately towards the basket.
We might see a roller here.
Yeah, whenever you see that orange disc coming out.
Yeah.
That's roller.
That was really his only
angle.
play to get there.
This really good angle.
This one's on a solid angle, yeah. If it curls up here, he's going to have a jumper.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Is he deep of the pin?
Yeah, incredible shot. He actually has a jump putt up there and an easy par.
His drive couldn't have been but 300 feet, right?
No, that was crushed.
Wow. It is downhill, but still.
Jason's turnover approach left a bit short, but it should also be easy enough to get par from there.
Nick's got to get this up and down for the birdie, realistically.
This is sawed off a little bit, doesn't quite get the glide he needs, and actually skips over towards the next tee. Not out of bounds. It gets a little bit of an extra roll, but not really
not the shot he was looking for there.
Yeah.
So it looks like him and David are probably both going to be taking pars here.
So Andrew actually got way down the fairway, but unfortunately does not execute on his upshot.
Yeah, I need height on that.
Turns it over low, yeah.
That's one thing that's so hard about these downhill angles.
You gotta match the grain. It's very difficult.
Yeah, you gotta match it, but in your head, if you're trying to match it, a lot of times you will throw too low. You can also sometimes sail it, and it's very angle sensitive playing on a course like. Oh!
Yeah, ooh.
That might not actually scare the basket. It just looked like it. It's very angle-sensitive playing on a course like this.
Yep. And this would be his jumper for birdie.
Just short.
Decent bid. And now this is a jumper for David's
Yeah, it looks
birdie.
like he was kind of laying it up.
Kind of just laying it up
I'm
there.
pretty sure afterwards he talked about that wall of kind of branches. And that was the height he wanted. He didn't want to mess with them, so he just threw it underneath. He was just laying it up for his par.
So once again, not going to see a shift in the leaders. There was some opportunity there.
Yeah, but we're about to head into hole 16, 17, and 18, where realistically, I wouldn't even say Andrew's out of it because these are some tough holes coming down the stretch. Yeah. There's OB to be considered. There's a few tight gaps, especially I believe it's this next hole that we're going to see the tight gap on.
There was one player who had actually got it to 12 under, but then got to 16, 17, 18, and immediately faded. And kind of was threatening and then was knocked down.
Yeah, so realistically, no one's out of it yet. David does have a 2-stroke lead, but you can see we're looking at a 430-foot par 3, OB everywhere.
Yeah, very difficult.
Double Mando here, making you go down this gap.
To an elevated basket.
Very important shot for David here. He needs to execute if he wants this lead.
This one is looking very good if it can beat the last tree.
Oh my goodness. That is
such an incredible shot.
That, considering the moment, that is about as good of a shot as you could ever ask for.
That is spectacular. Andrew, unfortunately, not able to turn this over.
He hit a tree.
He hits a
good
good tree.
Because that was sailing OB.
Yeah, good tree there.
This is important for Nick to match David here.
Got to get something to flip over quick, and Nick, unfortunately, pulls his. Slightly friendly tree and
very friendly tree because there's a chance I was going in the creek to be honest with you.
Short of the creek, so he won't be an awful spot considering. Jason needs this to turn over, and unfortunately he's kicked out left.
Probably a friendly tree there as well.
Yeah, very, very fortunate really for all those missed drives to nobody get kicked OB there.
Yeah, because this green also gets more and more narrow the closer you get to the basket.
It pinches in very tight.
The two cart paths kind of come together, and it gets tighter and tighter, and you have this elevated basket.
This one's a little bit sawed off, but not bad. You should have a solid look there. Nick also throwing his upshot, but David is going to get a very important stroke here if he can convert on his short putt.
Yeah, there's one thing about those baskets is no putt is really close enough.
No.
Actually, you can almost be too close with how tall this thing is.
Yeah.
To give you reference, I would bet that Andrew is probably 6 foot, maybe a little over 6 foot.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And, I mean, you'll see when he's... unfortunate pull from Jason there. Great comeback, though, because those putts can get scary fast.
Oh, yeah. They add up.
Solid putt from Nick Carl. We still have not seen David go. Here he comes.
Yeah, here's David to get
Very important putt for David here, about 15 feet on a rather tall basket.
Yeah, so get him a stroke on Nick. That'll kind of just... He's able to convert slightly high there, but now he is really able to kind of just play safe golf for the last 2 holes.
And that's a very important spot to be in.
Yeah.
The last 2 holes are attackable, but the more aggressive you get, the more danger they bring in.
Yeah.
Really, to be able to just kind of play for par, and if Nick Carl goes birdie, he still isn't even catching him.
Right.
So knowing David walking into these final 2 holes, knowing all he has to do is par, should be pretty stress-free to the win. But first off, he has a 682-foot par 4. Plus 60 feet of elevation, straight uphill.
This is a mile uphill, although this is exactly what he's looking for in a hole where...
That's turned over a bit too much.
Slightly aggressive drive, to be honest. And this is because this is what I was about to say. This is a hole where he does not have to do anything special.
No.
He can throw 3 shots and tap in, And
Nick, on the other hand, does need to be aggressive.
Yeah.
His drive is in a better spot, but... realistically, it's the upshot that's the most important thing on this hole.
You're just trying to get as much ground made up as you can. This one also turned over slightly, but actually fades out nicely. It's a little bit deceptive. It looks like they're getting turned over, but that's so far uphill that they're not landing up there as far as you think. So everybody's finding the fairway so far.
That's more the angle you would normally expect.
Yeah.
Kind of flipping into the middle of the hill to where you're going to have a wide open upshot.
Yeah, getting a disc to get turned over up this hill is nearly impossible. Yeah. It becomes a 3-shot hole.
I'm surprised to see Nick going backhand here.
Yeah, Nick.
How much he's been relying on his forehand, I would expect to see him kind of throw that forehand wide and try to skip it in.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing the trees into play, which we saw one slap him down there.
Yeah,
Andrew's
I think
going
they're kind of trying to cut off the corner here and really go directly at it.
Andrew's going to be about 100-some feet or so out.
Super tough ceiling.
And David's going to have the toughest shot of them all, but he just needs a par. He does not need to be aggressive here.
Just kind of needs to beat the trees.
He's kind of getting a little bit aggressive. Drops. Probably right next to Andrew's.
Not a problem.
Jason throwing his upshot for his par. We should just see a bunch of upshots for par here, to be honest with you. Doesn't look like there's going to be any real strokes gained. Although I guess these are technically biddable putts.
Yeah. Tough with the ceiling though.
Yeah, there's a very low ceiling. You'd have to really drive a putt. You'd have to, if you miss a putt when you're running it from this distance, it's going way past the basket.
Yeah, really tough to get the height. This one has it though.
Oh my goodness!
Wow,
what a putt from Andrew. That's
very impressive. Low ceiling.
How far is that thing?
I mean, that's close to 100 feet. And it had the height the whole way. I was never in doubt. That was amazing.
Wow, what a great hit from Andrew.
Definitely a great birdie to get. I'm sure there wasn't many out there on the course.
No, Nick, I think we missed his upshot, or did we?
Yeah, I think he just laid up and then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he laid up relatively fast. He's just he was frustrated, I think, with this hole.
Harder than you might think.
So seeing a bunch of pars tapping out here, and then Andrew with the lone birdie, I wouldn't be surprised if he was one of the few birdies in the whole field.
Yeah,
that day.
You got to have. I mean, to begin with, you have to have a lot of distance. You have a chance.
Yeah, 3 strokes for David going to the final hole. There should be no way he loses this lead. There is a ton of OB on the left, a little bit of OB on the right as we head into a 1,200-foot par 5.
Yeah, it's a monster.
Yeah. Andrew's making the mistake you want to make if you're going to, which is turning it over too much, but that's going to make this whole play a lot longer.
Yeah.
A whole lot longer.
It's difficult with that slope not to turn the disc all over. You see David throwing that Halo Wraith again. And this one, if it can get out of the tree, could be perfect. And it is able to get out of the tree.
Shot.
So yeah, that's
honestly,
perfect.
I'm surprised to see David put that much height on his disc. That's really trusting your discs, because the only mistake that he could not make is going OB left.
Exactly.
And getting the disc high is the only way you risk that. But he just knows what that thing's going to do.
Pretty good crush here from Nick as well.
Yeah, you can see both of them are in prime position on that hill, that top of the hill there.
Yeah.
They won't really be able to attack the basket by any means, but they should be able to get to the corner where they can lay up.
On this hole, it's all about getting yourself to that corner, making your upshot for a chance at birdie as easy as possible, because that green is a bit tricky. So the other thing is now Andrew has quite a bit of an uphill run up because he turned over a bit early down.
And he's throwing directly at OB.
Right.
He did get that turned over. That's a crush.
That was actually a really good shot.
That's about as good as you could possibly throw it from down there.
Gets to the top of the hill, and that's very well done from there.
Jason looking to match that. He goes a little bit more of a direct line. He's going to be fading out a little left.
Not bad either.
No.
Now Nick and David will be in much more of a position to attack the corner, get into a good spot. I believe this is a nuke from Nick here.
Turned over a bit, just hides it out if you didn't see. It's basically right next to, oh, there it is, right next to these, this tree down here. He's going to have to deal with that kind of a little bit in his upshot, but should have a routine hyzer into the green.
Yep.
David, I'm not sure what this driver was. He was throwing it some. This is like overstable driver, but it was the MVP driver of some sorts, and he was just absolutely ripping it on hyzer.
Yeah, that's in a good spot.
Yeah, it was pushing so far.
At that point, that pretty much seals the deal for him.
Jason just kind of skipping up to the corner there. Good placement shot from Jason.
Andrew now, I think
Andrew
playing
aggressive.
Yeah, try to make the aggressive play. Unfortunately,
and that's cranked over. That's actually headed towards the green.
Yeah,
it looks like
turns this one over towards the green.
Short of the green.
Just short.
He'll have an up and down for his par. Nick trying to get up and down for birdie here.
Yeah, not an easy shot here. You got to get around the tree and control the speed into the green.
Just didn't quite have the height.
Yeah, it kind of backed
or
off
the
that
distance,
a little
to be
bit.
honest with you.
Yeah.
You really got to pump one into this green. There is some OB to worry about, kind of where those blue chip banners are in the back there.
David a little bit closer. Now, this one is yanked a bit wide. This is actually going right over to the patio.
Ooh.
Ends up just on the edge of a bush, but not a problem. It's in play.
So he'll have like 6 putts from there for the win.
Yeah. Plenty of strokes to give. I think Jason might have got caught up in the tree slightly, but he's left a bit short. Andrew now making his last approach to the green. Also a bit short. Nobody really seemed to get up there.
No one's really pushing into this green for some reason. I think that it's deceptive. It doesn't look like you have as much room behind the basket as you do.
Yeah.
You can really pump one back there, and it's going to be hard to find that back OB.
It's also, as soon as you hit that hillside, you're not going to skip anywhere.
Yeah.
Oof, almost cash in on that one there.
Andrew with a long look, just low.
Yep, nose down the whole way. And David at this point, I think
he could lay up for the win, but he says nope.
Yeah, tries to give it a run anyways.
Sails it over. He'll have a little bit of a comebacker for his par.
I think he's got about 3 putts from the win from here.
Yeah.
There's first par.
Oh my gosh, that's it.
Very rude from the basket.
Not only caught that disc, but then decided, I'm going to throw it right back to you, David.
Yeah, I think the basket wanted him to be the last one to tap
said,
out.
No, do you not understand how disc golf works?
Yeah.
You lay that putt up, sir.
Yeah. Kind of a bummer not being have a bogey on the scorecard there. But
yeah.
When it all comes down to it, he's still going to walk away the winner.
Doesn't really matter when it's all said and done, but definitely when we watched that in person, my mind was blown.
Yeah.
I was like, that was a great putt. And slow motion made it look even more criminal. But David with a great final round. Pretty explosive with a lot of rollers, a lot of long drives. Coming back, I believe he was down 3 going into this final round. And as you'll see here, he ends up with the win by 2. We also had a few people sneaking up from the chase card. Jacob Kutzel and Neil Bishop. Andrew dropping down to 5th place. But thank you guys for watching this coverage. We're going to actually throw it over to David.
All right, so I'm here after round 2 with our winner, David Deal, after a come-from-behind win. So what was working for you out there?
Actually, I was just trying to stay in the fairway. It was a lot of wind, so, just disc up and, play what I can.
So coming down the stretch, you obviously came to the end of the round down 3 strokes. How much were you paying attention to the live scoring? Were you aware of where you were coming down the stretch?
I looked at the score on hole 17. I usually don't look at the score because I kind of know how I'm playing. So I looked at the score at 17. I saw I was 3 up or 3 down or whatever. And so I was like, well, just play what I can.
Was there a particular shot out there that was working for you in particular during the round?
I actually was all feeling good. I really didn't have any weak points. My roller game was really good, so that kind of helped out a lot. So
yeah, definitely saw some huge rollers from you. Well, congratulations on the win. We hope to see you at some more tour events this year.
Thanks, man.
All right, thank you guys, and hopefully you enjoyed the coverage of the Thorn Spring Fling. Huge shout out to Alex Bush, the TD, and Blue Chip Technologies for being a sponsor, the title sponsor of the tour. If you want to watch more coverage of the Blue Ridge Disc Golf Tour, be sure to subscribe and turn on the post notification bell, and also subscribe just for our regular content. We'll see you in the next one.